Ladies and gentlemen, the beta is officially done for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and we are a month away from the actual launch of the game. At this point, the developers are taking time to take in feedback, and they're going to model the actual launch of the game after the opinions that we give from the beta. Now, let's be honest, some things will change, some things absolutely won't, but I wanted to make a video just giving my overall opinions on the beta, my thoughts on how the game played, what I thought of various different things, weapons, maps, completely different other things, and going over the things that I would like to actually see changed upon the launch of the game. There's a lot here, but I also wanted to kind of use this as a forum for you guys to get your opinions across. So of course, that is what the comment section is for. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of the beta, what you think of the game moving forward. Are you looking forward to it? Did you not like the beta? Let me know what you think. But in general, these are just going to be my opinions on what I thought of the beta, and I want to hear what you have to say too. So without further ado, let's dive into it. So overall, my experience of the beta, I have to say, is generally positive. There's definitely some things I would like to see changed, but all in all, I had a good time. When I was playing on PS5 on the first weekend, I really didn't have any performance issues, no crashes, anything like that. Going into the second weekend, when I started playing on PC, I had many more crashes, especially on the first day. After that day, the crashes alleviated, but then I had some major packet loss issues, especially playing Ground War. As soon as I would hop into Ground War, my character would kind of jump all over the place. As soon as someone would shoot at me, I had some major lag or packet loss or frame issues. I could never decide what it was, but it was only in Ground War where I had those big issues. It would only happen once in a while in normal 6v6. So I don't know what other people experience. I've heard other people say it ran perfectly. I have a pretty good PC, so I shouldn't be having those problems, but I definitely did have those problems. So I'm looking for that to improve upon the launch of the game. I know this is a beta. I'm not going to complain too much about that. As far as the rest of the things that I enjoyed, first of all, the unlock trees, weapon leveling, and things like that, I think is a really good improvement. I can't wait to see how it works once all of the weapon trees are actually in the game. The kill streaks and score streaks, I thought they felt rewarding. They felt good when you actually earned them. I like that you could flip between score streaks or kill streaks, maybe depending on what type of game mode you were playing. So those are a big thumbs up in my mind. On top of that, the look of the game looks really good to me. I like that they put a lot of color and variation in the different maps. Not that I enjoyed all the maps, we'll get into that later, but overall the look of the game, how the weapons looked, how they performed, maybe a little bit too much visibility issues, but other than that, I think it looked and sounded, except for footsteps, we'll get into that one, sounded great too. So those are the big positives for me, and that is the great bones of a video game. However, there were issues, and these ones are going to take longer to go over. It's just the way positive and negative feedback works. I'm going to give more reasons, things like that. So this is the things that I did not enjoy. So just as an overall statement, I think this game is designed a little too heavily for campers. And as we talk about the things that I didn't like and what I saw there, I think you're going to realize that most of the things that I have gripes with are things that make the game easier for people to sit in rooms, not be noticed, things along those lines. And I just wanted to put that out there before I went into everything individually. So the first thing is player visibility. I find in a lot of areas on maps, it's hard to see people. And I think an easy way to fix that is just have nameplates pop up above people's heads. They don't have to be too big or annoying or anything like that. I think just especially if they are standing still or in a dark corner, just having that nameplate above their head would actually give you an idea of where they are. There's been perks for that in the past. I don't know if they want to do something like that, but I think that would help out a lot in a lot of those situations. Now, I asked on Twitter yesterday some pros and cons of what you guys thought, so I could also get your opinions across in this video as well. And one of the things I actually saw people divided on was the new perk system. And here's where I stand on this. The new perk system is strange because at first it took way too long to earn your ultimate perk, if you want to call it that, about 8 minutes minus time for actually playing the game. But then they reduced that in half in the second weekend of the beta. And I get that they want to change up the game, but I don't actually see the point of this. I don't understand like why this is in the game, because if they're just going to reduce the time to where it takes only a couple minutes to unlock all your perks, like just what is the point of that? It just doesn't make any sense to me. And on top of that, perks are designed in a way to make it so that your class fits your play style. So if you're using Ghost, maybe you're a bit more of a camper. If you're using different perks, maybe you're a bit more of a run and gun player. And to take time to earn those in every single game just confuses me. It just doesn't really make any sense. I would love to hear their reasoning for what they have done with the perk system and not just say we wanted to change things up, because to me it just seems kind of pointless. Not to mention there's definitely some perks that I think need to be there and ones that need to change. The first of which is Ghost. Ghost is annoying. If you call in a UAV, no one shows up. We've seen this fixed in the past with you have to be moving for Ghost to work. I think that should just be implemented nonetheless. On top of that, dead silence. Now this is a big one. We're going to talk about dead silence in a minute when we talk about footstep audio, but first I wanted to go back to Ghost and talk about the minimap. I made an entire video talking about the minimap and the reasons why I believe red dots should be there when people fire their weapons. I think it speeds up the gameplay, causes people to camp less, because if you fire your weapon and you don't show up on the map, you don't have to move. Everyone's not going to know where you are, whereas if you fire your weapon, people will know where you are, and that makes the game simply play faster. On top of that, when you know where people are and you can go and hunt them down, people are going to move around more because they want to get more kills. It encourages faster play, and I think it's just a really good thing. That being said, a big positive of this game is the drill charge. I love that thing. I love when someone's camping behind a wall, you throw it at it, it explodes, or if you're playing ground or someone drives a vehicle past you, you throw that drill charge on there and they are dead. Awesome piece of equipment. One of my favorite things that they added in this year. So then we have our footstep audio. As far as footstep audio goes, they've made it quieter in the second weekend. It is still very loud. So in conjunction with no red dots on the mini map, camping is a really good strategy. And yes, you could argue, oh, just adjust your play style, you can do it too. Yeah, I agree, but it's really boring, like really boring. And I think people will get bored of the game by playing like that. And if you just sit in a room, you fire your weapon, you don't show up on the minimap, you use Ghost, you don't show up on UAVs, and then you just listen for footsteps, yeah, you can go on really long streaks, but it is very boring. And by dead silence being a field upgrade, it eliminates the amount of time that you can run with silent footsteps, and that is why people are asking for dead silence. I think there's a lot of solutions that you can do here. You can make footsteps much quieter. People are still going to hear them. People are still going to sound horror. It's just going to happen. You can make dead silence a perk. I would personally enjoy that, but I don't see it happening. But those two things in conjunction, the mini map and loud footstep audio, make this game a camper's paradise. Not to mention the next thing, the time to kill. Now, the time to kill isn't something that I need to see change. I would like to see it made a little bit longer, but in conjunction with loud footsteps, in conjunction with the minimap, and in conjunction with slow aim down sights and sprint out times, someone who is camping, aims at a doorway, hears footsteps, pre-aims you, maybe even pre-fires you, is going to win that gunfight every single time because of that slow time to kill. Your movement doesn't matter. They've eliminated a lot of movement mechanics, so your movement doesn't matter. On top of that, it doesn't matter if you have better aim because they're pre-aiming you, they heard you coming, and they don't show up on the minimap, so the next person on your team isn't going to know where they are. So all of that in conjunction makes camping, sitting in a room, sitting in a window, that kind of thing, a really effective play style in this game. And I think that's a very big thing that needs to be looked at, because if I have to play a camp style every single time I play this game to do well, I'm going to get very bored. And on top of that, SBMM or skill-based matchmaking also plays into that as well. Now, for some reason, after the first weekend, I didn't feel like skill-based matchmaking was that crazy. And then in the second weekend, it felt like it was amped up a little bit, and I enjoyed the game a little less because of it. So I didn't love that. But there's also some other things that I think could improve this alone without actually adjusting skill-based matchmaking. One thing that they said that they are actually working on, and I was shocked that they said this, is disbanding lobbies. After every game, you disband and it puts you in a brand new game. I found that a lot of the time, especially when I was playing alone, it would put me into games that were half done over and over again, because even if I played the rest of that game I was put into halfway, I would disband and then I'd get put into a new game and it would be the same thing over and over again. So that is something I would love to see fixed and something we haven't seen fixed for the past few games, so that's really good. Also, map voting. So for me, the map that I didn't love so much was Museum. I just didn't love it. It wasn't my favorite map. It was a little bit too big for me. It did grow on me throughout the weekend, I will say that, but still not my favorite map. I much preferred the other ones, and I actually really enjoyed the other ones. So map voting, I think, would be another really good thing to be added into the game, and it's something that was like a staple in Call of Duty for so long. I don't see why that would need to be removed. So those are some things that I think would be easy to update and easy to change. One thing that I did have a lot of trouble with was the UI. I just didn't enjoy it, and I think part of the reason for that was because a lot of the things were broken because not the whole game was in there. You couldn't see all the weapon progression, you couldn't see all the weapon trees, things like that. So that's something that they said that they're working on and should be fixed for launch. So I'm not too worried about that one. But yeah, the UI was very confusing and some things were just hard to figure out with it. So those are essentially all my thoughts, all of the things I would like to see adjusted or changed for the actual launch of the game. At this point, I would like to put it up to you guys. Let me know what you think about the game. Let me know what you thought of the beta. I'm curious. I'll be reading all the comments, so let me know what you think down below. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button. If you want to stay up to date on everything Modern Warfare 2, Warzone, everything like that, I got a big video coming later this week, so stay tuned for that one. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're made